Colin. Let's talk about Drake May, who had a pretty damn good second year in the league, nearly won the MVP award. He's recovering from that late season shoulder injury that he had, saying he's got no problems at all. He's doing great, expects to be 100% here very shortly, if he's not there already. You and I have dug into the Patriots a little bit. Yes, May was incredible. Yes, the rest of the AFC had injuries almost everywhere. And that schedule is the real decider. We like to go out on limbs here on the show. I mean, once the schedule comes out, the order, I'm probably going to say no playoffs for the Patriots.
Yeah, I think Vegas agrees with you. I do think, we talked about it earlier, circumstances matter. They were not the best team in their own division, and they made the Super Bowl for a variety of reasons. Home field advantage, they got a blizzard advantage, Bo Nix gets hurt. Like, it's just one of those years where sometimes you have a plan and you exceed the plan earlier than you think. And I mean, they've had a very distracted Vrabel offseason. Yeah. The schedule gets much harder. The part of their team that needs work is offensive line, and that is a really difficult position to come into the NFL from college and be elite quickly. You can do it at receiver, corner, back, quarterback, and offensive line. It takes time. So I think the AFC, and they're just too. I mean, now the Chargers are going to be healthy. Kansas City's going to be back. Burrow and Cincinnati have upgraded the defensive line last 2 years. I don't think it's going to look the same.
I totally agree.
All right, let's get into this. I'm really thrilled to get a genuine discussion going on about the New England Patriots. If you're trying to get into all of the other things that are currently happening, we're not going there. I really aim to keep everything entirely related to football, except if the story or the circumstances genuinely forces you to do so. We aren't quite at that stage yet, or maybe never will be. Probably it will never come up. If that happens, you understand, we'll tackle it, but otherwise, it's simply, not something that I'm actually keen on undertaking. I'm wanting to have actual football discussions. So, before I really dive into it, New England Patriots supporters, please remember to subscribe and view the entire length of the clip. When you all take that action, when you're viewing the clip and subscribing concurrently, views skyrocket, subscribers increase drastically, and it's not regarding pursuing subscribers. It's not regarding pursuing views. It's with respect to being in a position to create New England Patriots content that viewers authentically desire to view and delve into, so we can have real, truthful, well-founded exchanges. I mean, hey, New England Patriots supporters, you folks are getting a prime seat into the disorder of all that is unfolding, and just like I want to have actual chats, truly. I don't desire to get excessively caught up in just any minor buzz and this and that. And I am just aiming to keep it all about the game to the best of our skills. For instance, I stated, should other things occur where it's apparent you're clearly in need of going over this, then naturally, right? I won't refrain from discussing stuff, though, up until that day, we are keeping our focus on football. Therefore, consider subscribing, please. However, the New England Patriots, Drake May, their schedule, this, that. Good heavens. Okay. I'm of the opinion that right this instant, the NFL is a league where anything is attainable. I think it is excellent. It feels really good. The NFL is, we witnessed a Super Bowl with the New England Patriots against the Seattle Seahawks. That transpiring in 2026 would be a very unexpected event to occur. That's correct. Absolutely no one perceived that was going to be the Super Bowl in 2025, the 2025 season, 2025-2026 season. And it's simply absurd, absolutely insane. It was the Broncos against the Patriots in the AFC Championship contest. Thus, the games within the NFL as a complete entity are available to all. And in the AFC, well, yes, I have faith in the Broncos without a doubt, and I'm excited with the moves that they pulled off during the offseason. I'm remarkably eager to watch how Mike McDaniel performs alongside Justin Herbert and the Chargers team. I anticipate the Kansas City Chiefs team will recover, and so on. But, it still has an even playing field. And this is where you need to decide what your opinion of Drake May is. As I believe Drake May has special abilities. I think Drake May is brilliant, and I fully grasp, unequivocally, that their schedule was favorable to them. And I defended the entire, everyone was consistently saying, the timetable, that's precisely why they are as strong as they are. And I kept saying, that is not correct, they did obviously take advantage of that, no debate, right? That supports them, in fact. Still, I don't discriminate if you are against the Jets or anyone, it was very apparent that Drake May is special. Those are his unusual capabilities, correct? Especially once you've begun to perform within your entire career, is that correct? Whether you're Josh Allen or Mahomes, I am unconcerned about what you do in opposition to the New York Jets or the Miami Dolphins. That point truly doesn't carry weight. When Mahomes, you understand, and the Chiefs totally outplayed the Raiders, I stated, it means nothing. I anticipate that you are capable of doing that. This carries no meaning at all to me, right? That's not where that New England team stands at their start, you know, at the start of their future period. That's not where Drake May was positioned at, is it? Therefore, it was a different conversation. Moreover, you really have to focus down on each athlete and be like, how did you perform on a per-athlete basis? Can you explain the types of plays? I mention this continuously, like it's different if you're outperforming a poor team and you're just in a position to run through them easily, you're able to complete a straightforward 5-yard pass without being tackled, or you're throwing a 30-yard pass to a wide-open receiver, am I right? Virtually exactly what the Chicago Bears did when opposing the Dallas Cowboys last year. The challenge wasn't so impressive. Caleb Williams' figures were unbelievable, but it wasn't actually a stellar contest from Caleb. Caleb did a poor I had many inaccurate throws and it was like indeed, outplayed them and achieved remarkable figures. Though, that wasn't a stellar contest, correct? Therefore, it's like, by truly scrutinizing the rivalries, not caring whether it's in opposition to the Jets or the Dolphins or anybody, I'm capable of envisioning Drake May achieving exceptional feats. Furthermore, once the league overall is up in the air, the opportunities are up for the taking. Currently, it is going to surely be riveting. I am serious, sincerely so. At this point during the NFL, currently during the experiences of Josh Allen, Lamar, Burrow, they're definitely deserving of further admiration in those quarterbacks rather than even Drake May. They have acquired the privilege to allow everyone to observe them with the expectation that they are persistently effective, they constantly execute well the majority of the time, right? They're imperfect, they obviously make errors, and so forth, but most importantly, they step up. They perform when it counts. And, like Drake May is still trying to prove precisely that, am I right? He's trying to demonstrate his ability to be that kind of quarterback. Thus, it is logical that if we assess the league in its entirety and consider the Bengals plan on getting their D-line ready, the Ravens will be healthier, and then there's the Bills team and the Chiefs team, and so on. Then, I understand the reason why those specific teams get a head start. And yet again, most of the time, they deserve this advantage. Like, it's acceptable. By all means that should be like that. But I don't consider any of the teams as obvious strong contenders where I'm just like, not only are they consistent in their performance, but they have a great quarterback and an effective coaching team to match. Therefore, it's exactly like the Bills are on their way to being better and more competitive than they were the year prior. I presume the Chargers are going to perform better and be more of a threat in contrast to how they did last year, you know, and etc. But I'm not on the level of thinking that now it's potentially more challenging for the Patriots than it was for them last year, but I refuse to believe that it comes automatically after having a simple schedule, so that's the reason why they were able to score victories. They're not likely to clinch any victory this season due to having to follow a strict approach. That's what I don't fully understand. That does not quite seem logical to me. Once again, without a confidence in Drake May, if the quarterback caused you to feel like he was a like a Kirk Cousins or a Baker Mayfield, that would make sense. Okay, I understand then. Like if his quarterback needed O-line, blah blah blah. And it's very likely they will be getting A.J. Brown, in which case you need to evaluate the change. I'm sure that all of these guys are taking A.J. Brown under consideration. That's likely what is viewed as a guarantee. So, likely, the conclusions about the Patriots are without A.J. Brown. Once A.J. Brown is factored in, it should be considered as a change. But really, they are viewing A.J. Brown as a given. I believe the absolute bare minimum is that they're going to be seriously competitive. They're going to be incredibly competitive. And they are going to be in a lot of games. Then you're going to be recognizing that the fate is on the shoulders of Drake May. Drake May is a spectacular quarterback. Drake May is special. Drake May is really a top quarterback in the NFL. Absolutely. I really think this year there will be randomness. There will be specific groups that are extremely skilled, but they will not make the playoffs. So, you will be thinking, oh, man, you dropped the Week 3 challenge with the Arizona Cardinals and Jacoby Brissett, that shouldn't happen, right? Or, you were able to defeat the Rams, with 1 minute and 30 seconds left. All they had to do was avoid giving up a touchdown. Instead, they give up an enormous rush for 65 yards, that's how random it all feels. The Rams, with a blocked field goal, to lose to the Eagles. It ended up having devastating results. They were up by 20 points. After that, the Eagles made a comeback, but they were still going to beat the Eagles, but lost due to a blocked field goal. Wasn't that the case? The impact was devastating. And on down the line and on down the line and on down the line. It's the same for every team, where random moments have devastating consequences. For example, missing a random game with the Atlanta Falcons, failing to gain points in a muffed punt, and it will be a group of teams that will have a note worth paying attention to. When we are observing throughout the course of this season and we see random moments, I usually disagree with individuals on the takes when, because they try to make every game out to feel like it might be the final. They are just trying to win. Win now. I'm usually trying to downplay that for the most part. But it feels like every single moment of every single game this season, they could be thinking if they just ruined the chances of making the playoffs. Because it is genuinely tight. It is likely going to be tight but accessible. They are not necessarily incompatible, and so people are taking this view as a view that the Patriots' chance of joining the season is slim. In response, I do not agree. Time will unfold. On another tangent, things are coming out little by little. Hopefully, things don't fall. In response, I won't venture out, speculate it. I don't even like having that convo. It has no intrigue. Until it has a direct effect, there is nothing to be discussed. Perhaps that day will come. Maybe it just won't. As I said, I won't guess what will happen. I don't believe that is fair. That is not the goal. Perhaps that will have major influence. It will influence things. The team has what it takes. A team competed and maintained consistent in the past with steady progress or even more. The Houston Texans. They managed to stay up. Though, there were multiple messy divisions. With the Jets, the Giants, and the Dolphins, there has to be consideration of Josh Allen. As you might hate him, they are not bad and Josh Allen is not trash, right? It's unbiased. It will not be Will Levis and the Tennessee Titans. Or whoever the heck was that quarterback pre-Daniel. The revolving door of quarterbacks with the Indianapolis Colts. And in the way that the Chargers improved a little bit and maintained the competitive edge. You can study any of the teams. The Bills. The Ravens, or any of the big boy teams became competitive after making 0 waves. Then remained in the space. As there are ups and downs, their commitment was always there. There is no reason why the Patriots will not consistently hold a consistent competitive edge. When two teams are challenging, the best result is coaching and quarterback play. And there has been a great coaching leadership with both sides. You have an appropriate quarterback, and then they say, it is war. All is set. Here is a wild ride this coming season. Every game will hit such a high point, always competitive. There are barometer games, like the team's victory against the Jets. It does not mean anything to me. Compared to last season, maybe it does. Like these barometer games. Feels like 9 out of 10 will be barometer games and a challenge will be adding each puzzle piece together, because a victory against Detroit led into the loss with Chicago. Split between Bills and a sweep with the Jets. To add on to the loss with the Cardinals. Making sense of any of this will be chaotic. To add on to the laugh, just think and picture how difficult it will be for some to decide the top 10 rankings. It will be a crass situation and that would make it challenging to believe that it will be the end of the road for the Patriots. With that, those are my thoughts and I am welcome to hear yours regarding the NFL. What do you believe will happen to Drake May and company? Will it be the end of the road? Tell me. I will dedicate my time into the remarks. If we differ in opinion, let's talk. Build a community. And with the amazing building going here, I'd love to see you as part. I am aiming to connect each player for exciting moments. We're making great progress during those times. Don't disregard giving a thumbs up, which improves the visibility of the videos. Thank you and stay tuned.